Welcome back to the Common Sense Crypto channel, everyone. This is Rich, making another video on XRP today, as usual. So wherever you are in this vast planet, I hope you're all having a nice day today. I have to start with this from Cointelegraph before we discuss XRP. The House Financial Services Committee should be updated. The Anti-CBDC Surveillance State Act is passed. Bitcoin maxis immediately say that XRP is doomed. The fact that XRP can stabilize the US dollar in its current state is still unknown to them. Anything of value is moved by XRP. We will have a digital dollar, even though the US does not yet have a digital currency issued by a central bank. Either USDC from Circle or most likely a digital dollar stablecoin from a private company like Ripple, or even both. However, we'll have digital currency. And when gold was hitting a new all-time high over the weekend, I was discussing how Bitcoin is not a superior store of value than gold. JP Morgan emphasizes the power of gold and claims that the narrative surrounding Bitcoin's digital gold is under threat. A JP Morgan analyst claims that as volatility and TF withdrawals cause investor skepticism, Bitcoin's status as digital gold is being put to the test. Gold is currently at the top of the devaluation trade and is predicted to keep growing as its main gainer. However, that alone won't alter the perception of Bitcoin as a digital gold. On the XRP ledger, we already have real tokenized gold. Hold out until they're trading gold for less than a penny in a matter of seconds. However, that story is also coming to an end as a store of value. The Bitcoin landscape is rapidly evolving. According to recent Glassnode data, XRP has surpassed Bitcoin as the most popular hub for individual investors. This is what they're saying then. In the same time frame, Bitcoin has only managed a 10% rise. This implies that institutional investors are more responsible for Bitcoin's rise than individual traders. Do you know why? Retailers are beginning to realize that Bitcoin is useless. On the other hand, XRP has practical applications and actual worth. The majority of Bitcoin's value is not actual value. It's tether printed without any prior knowledge. They then use the fictitious tether money to purchase Bitcoin. And thus far, XRP is dominating the market. At the moment, it is outperforming all other cryptocurrencies. And it's surviving rather nicely above $2. It recovers above $2 after bouncing off at $1.96. It has already occurred several times. RippleNet, the biggest bank in Brazil, is considering introducing its own stablecoin. Regardless of whether they are CBDCs or not, each bank will issue its own stablecoin that may be exchanged for any other stablecoin. All of them will require a bridge that is neutral. Additionally, several nations are starting to consider stable coins and will move away from digital currencies issued by central banks. And the United States appears to be setting the standard. Since the United States will no longer have a digital currency issued by its central bank, I believe that many other nations will follow suit. However, in April, the Bank of Korea will begin a test program for in-person transactions with its CBDC. For daily transactions, about 100,000 participants will be able to exchange their bank deposits for digital tokens. Nowadays, XRP is incredibly popular in Korea. Perhaps these 100,000 people will choose to use xrp rather of a digital currency issued by the central bank. Early on, we were able to observe the extent of the traction their central bank's digital currency gained. That will serve as a reliable predictor of whether the Bank of Korea would move forward with a central bank digital currency or switch to something akin to the RLUSD. US Treasury V's XRP. This is infrastructure, not hype. The government may get XRP as a code from Ripple. They will use it rather than purchase it. Listen to this out. Perhaps Ripple will send some XRP to the US government at this point. I explained the meaning of a gratis vendor to them. Yes, since I didn't want to work for the government, I designed. Transition was what I was doing. A gratis vendor, what is it? The United States of America has authorized the gratis vendor to supply goods to the government. It doesn't sell. Because you're providing it to us, I don't have to go through the entire process of becoming a legitimate vendor. The president can take it since it is given to him if you provide it to Article 2, which is his property. I'm sorry, could you give an example? I write software. You are a software writer. In order to improve XYZ, I write something for the Commerce Department. Give that to me, please. After I finish Q, I can accept it. We're going to government hell if you sell it to me for $1. Yes, the entire ordeal. Absolutely, but if you give it to me, I'll set it up, so I said I'd call it Dodge. Additionally, I registered Doge as a name. He's arguing that you don't have to go through all the procedures if you donate to the government. They could simply take it as it's really a gift. And since they plan to use XRP to repair the US dollar, perhaps this is how the US ends up with some of it. They will want to spread that over the globe, even if they take RLUSD and say, okay, RLUSD is now the digital dollar. And how may XRP and RippleNet technology be used to transfer that digital dollar most effectively? Wake awake. Some people still believe that XRP won't be used, even though Ripple has given bank IDs to more than 500 banks. There's no slowing of the train. Either you'll make it or you'll fall behind. Since there isn't a central bank digital currency at the moment, the Bitcoin maxes believe that XRP's time is gone. They were unaware that Ripple already had partnerships with several banks. Additionally, they are employed by the US government. In a recent video, I even demonstrated the connections to the US government and Ripple, as it demonstrates how the plan that began years ago is finally coming to fruition. And you will get wealthy as an XRP investor once that plan is implemented. Everything we ever imagined would happen to XRP is currently happening. All we're waiting for is a shift in XRP's pricing. Ripple recently unlocked 1 billion XRP, but this time it's different. The release was delayed by 2 days, divided into 3 distinct transactions. 700 million XRP relocked in an instant. This isn't arbitrary. Ripple appears to be modifying its approach in anticipation of a significant event. Are you watching Smart Money? The source of that is X-Finance Bull. This time around, I too thought it was odd because I assumed that the 1 billion unlock would occur on the 1st of every month. Will Ripple acquire another company? Will the US government get a portion of this XRP? Although we don't really know what's going on now, I'm confident that a significant statement will be made soon. However, whenever Ripple makes a change, something significant usually results. In March 2025, private enterprises created 155,000 new employment. Unlike Joe Biden, these positions were not with the government. Recall that all of those jobs were created during his presidency, but they were at the government level, and none of them originated from private American businesses. This time, however, private American businesses are involved. Moreover, this job report is extremely optimistic. This may potentially affect our next course of action regarding our cryptocurrency holdings, because positive developments in the real world frequently have an impact on the cryptocurrency industry as well. This is a result of the common fury. Flutterwave Messaging, a RippleNet user, has only released its Send app in Ghana. Users can receive overseas remittances straight into their mobile wallets and bank accounts thanks to the software, such as Teltigo Money, Telecel Cash, and just more rails, that's all. And because the rails are still being built out in the background, they will eventually start using something like XRP to make this even faster and even cheaper, even if it's just messaging at the moment. Meanwhile, everyone is either watching the